Yo guys, what's going on and welcome back to this video today. I hope you're all doing fantastic. Now, just before we jump into it, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's new here on the channel. If you are new and this is the first time you're ever watching me, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below because I'm bringing out daily business and general self-improvement videos for all of you guys. So if that seems like something of interest to you, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and let's jump into it. So today, as you can tell by the title, what I want to be speaking to you about is how you guys can actually go out and get confidence, because you know, especially within social media marketing or any other business model, the chances are you're going to have to be speaking to business owners, or you're going to have to speak to people, right? And I know in the very, very beginning that can be scary, and it was massively something that was scary for me. And believe it or not, although I may come across confident now in these videos, I may come across confident on my calls with business owners, deep down, I'm a very unconfident person. I'm a massive, massive, massive introvert deep down inside. And this isn't something that I've always had. So today what I want to speak to you about is how I went around and got this confidence, and how you can do it too, how you can actually build up the confidence to speak to these business owners, because I know that's something a lot of you struggle with. So in order to sort of really dive a bit more in depth, first things first, I want to tell you a bit of a story about myself and about my own confidence, and just so you can sort of have a look at how I've overcome it, and you can actually have a look at, you know, sort of where I am today. I know I've still got a massively long way to go confidence-wise, still got a massively long way to go in life, but compared to what I was, there's a massive, massive, massive difference. So I want to fast forward, so I want to rewind back, let's say like 10 years ago. So at the time of filming this right now, I'm 23. 10 years ago, you know, around 13, 14 years old, I was massively, massively overweight. Obviously I was at school, I didn't really have a lot of friends. You know, I had a few friends, but you know, I didn't really have a lot of friends. I was getting bullied, and I was generally really antisocial. I never really spoke to anyone, I never spoke to girls, obviously. I would never like make eye contact with anyone. The thought of even like picking up the phone to even like, I don't know, book a dentist, I mean, I know I was 13, but you know, even up to this stage when I was like 17, 18 years old, picking up the phone to like even book a taxi, or to order a takeaway, or to just pick up the phone to do something like book a doctor's appointment, like I literally couldn't do it. I literally could not do it. There was something inside of me, a huge lack of confidence, that I just really struggled with. I was massively into video games, so when I'd come home from school, I'd lock myself in my bedroom, I'd be in my own sort of virtual world, I'd play Call of Duty with my online friends. These are a lot of the time people that I'd never met in real life. I literally sit there, get home, play video games all night, be in my own little world, and I was quite happy then. But what that meant was, like, I had no real social skills, and this is something that I struggled with to the extent of, like, I used to sit with my mum and cry because I was afraid to go to school the next day, because I worried what people thought about me, because I was such a massive introvert. Any sort of exposure to a large amount of people, it would like kill me. So if I was like walking even through, like, I don't know, just say I was in the line waiting to get food at school, and like people behind me were talking about something and laughing, I would automatically think it was about me. I'd get all nervous, I'd get all sweaty. My confidence was at an all-time low. Now, to transition from that into someone now who I'll hop on a business call tomorrow. I've got loads of coaching students. Like, I obviously have these videos for you guys. I release courses. Like, my videos reach thousands of people a month. Like, to get to this point now, this isn't something you think I would have been able to achieve a few years ago. So what I want to do now I've sort of told you a bit about myself, is go into how you guys can overcome your confidence. And it comes into a few different sections. The first thing I do want to say though, before I get into the solid tips of how to increase your confidence, the first thing I just want to say is you want to picture your life whenever you're afraid to do anything, whenever you're really, really scared to do anything in life, whether that is pick up a phone and get on a call with a business owner, or whether that is literally something as simple as picking up the phone to order a takeaway. You really need to just think, like, what is the worst thing that can happen? Like, what? So you pick up that phone, speak to a business owner, and they decide that you fluff it up massively and that you're not a good fit. What's the worst that's happened? Well, you're in the same position as you were before you took the phone call. You don't really know that guy, the chances are. He'll probably never see you in his life again. Like, why does it matter? First things first, you've got to understand it. Like, it's pointless. Another thing, a little trick that I like to do to convince myself to do things, like, confidence-wise, is like, I mean, this is going to get really deep now, but this is something that I sort of trick my brain into thinking, is that one day we're all gonna die, right? Now this is gonna get deep, but you know, one day we're all gonna die, and everything you do right now is gonna be forgotten about. So the chances are that you fell over in public or something, do you know what I mean? Or you pick up a phone and cold call and get shut down, well, in a few, like literally 5 minutes later, that guy's gonna forget you've ever made that phone call. That girl that you phoned is ever gonna forget. And in a few years' time, there's gonna be such a distant memory that no one forgets about it. You're not gonna remember it. And in like 100 years' time, you're gonna be dead anyway. So like none of this really matters. So I know that's quite deep, but that's something that I do sometimes. It's like, I make a stupid mistake or I start to feel embarrassed. And the first thing I do right away is like, right, like none of this is important. None of this matters. It's like, everyone's gonna forget about this in a minute. So now I've got to the stage where, you know, I'm happy to go and make a complete fool of myself, and I don't really get bothered and I don't really get too embarrassed ever, just because I don't care what anyone else thinks, because I know everyone else is going to forget about it soon. So that's another thing you could do when you struggle with confidence. But now I really want to hop into the next part and sort of lean it a bit more towards action when it comes to speaking to business owners. And this is what this video is about. And speaking to business owners, first things first, comes across as scary. You've got to understand if you're just starting out now, right? If you are just starting out now, and if you're watching this video, I assume you are, or you're thinking about getting into it, these business owners that you're gonna be speaking to, these are gonna be mum and pop shop, they're just normal people. You're not gonna be on the phone to Fortune 500 CEOs. You're not gonna be on the phone to really high up directors in banks and all these scary business people. You're not going to be on the phone to those. You're going to be on the phone to Joanna and John, who decided to open up a restaurant because it's been their passion all their life. They've got some savings together and they invested in a restaurant. You're going to be speaking to Billy, who has decided he hated his old job, so he just wants to go out and do his own thing. These business owners are just like you guys. If anything, you shouldn't be scared, you should be excited to meet these, because it takes a certain person to be able to go into business a lot of the time. The chances are you'll find that you're probably quite similar to a lot of these business owners. So the first thing you've got to do is understand that these are just normal people. Stop being so scared to pick up that phone, because if I had to speak to a Fortune 500 CEO right now, even I'd get a bit nervous. I'd be like, bloody hell, you know, he's this really high up person in like corporate America, he's probably gonna shoot me down, he's probably gonna, you know, but you're not going to be speaking to those kind of people. You're literally speaking to just normal, everyday, mum and pop shop business owners, and especially if you're first getting started, chances are that's what's going to happen. The next thing I want to make very, very clear, whenever you go into a situation like this, you've got to understand you can always say no, right? Let's say you go into a shop and some guy is a business owner, he's really scary, you don't like him, you're not getting a good feel, he's shooting you down. Well, guess what? Pick up and say, look, you know what, I came here because I thought that my services could help you. I feel like we could be a good partnership. Everything I say, obviously you don't seem that interested in, so I'm gonna save your time, I'm gonna save my time, I just don't think this is a good fit. Get up and leave. You are no worse off than you were before you went into that meeting. Don't be afraid to just get up the courage and just say, no, look, this isn't a good fit, right? You don't have to sit there and get shot down and make an embarrassment of yourself if you don't want to. You can just say, look, I'm not coming here to do this, I'm coming here to see if we're a good fit, right? I wanna help your business, I'm here to help you. If you don't wanna hear it, that's fine. You know what? I'm just gonna save both our times and get up and leave. And there's actually, I've done that quite a lot recently with, especially now I've got quite a few clients. It takes a certain client for me to want to work with. I don't want any hassle at all. I really want a massively stress-free life. So if I get on a phone call with a client, a potential client, and they seem like a bit of a nightmare, I will not hesitate to just be like, look, you know what? I'm just gonna stop you there. I hope you don't mind. After speaking to you, I feel like, you know, I'm probably not the best fit for you. You know, you're looking for something that, you know, you're looking for a bit more than what I'm willing to provide. There's tons of other people out here on the market that are able to do the same thing as me. I just don't think we're a good fit. You know, I wish you all the best, but you know, I think someone else is better fitted. Go and see if you can find someone. And like, that's 100% okay. And there's something very, 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 you know, when I've done that recently, something quite, I don't know, it's quite invigorating. It's quite like fulfilling in some sort of way to be like, you feel like quite proud of yourself to be like, you know what, I didn't have to work with that person. Okay, yeah, I didn't land them as a client, but there's something invigorating about knowing that you're in that position to just say no. So another thing to increase your confidence, you don't want to go into these business owners like as a desperate person, like I'm desperate, I need your business, because you're going to come across needy, and then you're going to make an embarrassment of yourself, because if you go too hard and you're too pushy for the sale and you're too pushy for this other stuff, and then you don't get it, it might make it a bit awkward. Whereas if you go in there with the mindset of, look, my service here today, whatever service it is in the world, you know, I'm here to try and help you. I'm here to see if we're a good fit. If not, that's fine, we can part ways. If we are, maybe we can partner up and make this work. And that's what you want to say. And as soon as you go into that as a meeting, into the meeting or into the phone call or whatever it is, knowing that you don't need them and you're willing to say no, as opposed to that you're absolutely desperate to get them, your confidence levels changes, because you know at any point you can pick up and walk away and just leave, all right? That is something that massively, massively helped me with my confidence when speaking to business owners. And as per usual, I've saved the 2 most important things to the end of the video. So those of you guys who are here watching now and you've been watching for the longest, these are the most important 2 tips right now. And this is something that I'm gonna teach you, but it's something that really just comes with experience. And it's like me saying to you now, like, go and do this. Well, it's all well saying go and do this, but you need the experience to be able to do this, right? And let me just explain what that is. It all comes down to 2 things, and that is, number 1, authority and being a figure of authority, and number 2, knowing your worth. So I'm gonna start with knowing your worth, because that sort of leads into the whole authority mindset. So what do I mean by knowing your worth? Now, a lot of people, when they go into these meetings, the reason they get nervous is because they you know, especially with like social media marketing, and you're going in and you want to close a client for 2K a month, 1K a month. That's obviously a large amount of money for a business to come out of their pocket. And a lot of people go into this meeting being nervous right off the bat, because they're like, oh my God, like I don't know, when I say 1,000 a month, like what's he gonna say? That's gonna be embarrassing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how am I gonna be able to charge that? If you go into the business meeting with that mindset, you're setting yourself up for disaster. You need to know your worth. You need to 100,000% believe in your pricing and believe in the product or service that you're pitching to these guys. You 100% need to be in it and believe in it, and you need to know your worth. Let me just tell you an example about me, right? So when I first got started in this business, I took on a load of like lower paying clients. I could have closed them for more if I just had the confidence. So for example, one guy is my 2nd or 3rd ever client that I landed, actually, and it's quite weird that I did land them, but he asked me about pricing, right? And tell me if this is you guys, tell me if you can relate. Instead, what I would have done now, so, okay, I spoke to him for 20 minutes on the phone, and it got to the end and he was like, right, so how much is this gonna cost? Nowadays, I'd be super confident and say, right, this is gonna take me this long, this is the results you're gonna get, I'm gonna charge you X amount for this. Confident in price, 100%, that's what you're paying, or we're not working together. Not in an arrogant way, but in a just a confident, like, this is the price. If you pay it, fantastic. If not, let's part ways, right? Before, what I did, when he asked me about the price, I said, oh my God, I was like, I don't know if you're gonna be able to afford this, but, it's 200 a week or whatever. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. Straight off the bat, like, yeah, that's fine. But I went in it really timid and like, oh, I don't know if you can afford this. Like, you don't want that, because the chances are, like, he could have easily on his end said, you know what, like, no, that's too expensive. I can only do 100 a week. And timid old me probably would have been like, oh, like fluffing about, and accepted it. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be worried about price. You don't want to, think you're worth less than you are. You need to 100% believe in your products. And you know what, like, if you don't, lower the price to what you feel confident with doing until you really understand the value of the service and product that you're offering. So let me just tell this as an example. Social media marketing, right? If you're running ads for a business and you're charging £1,000 a month, well, that's fine if you're bringing in the business 10K a month. You need to own £1,000 a month. Don't be in there and go in nervous, being like, oh, £1,000 a month, like that's so much money. And then when they ask price, you say it all timidly. No, you need to own it. Look, it's £1,000 a month, because it's not based on how long it takes. It's not based on anything else. It's based on the value that you get. If I bring you in 10K a month, the fact that I'm only taking 1,000, I'm doing you a massive favor here, because I could charge you 5,000 and you'd still probably go through the deal, right? And they'd be like, yeah, I agree. They agree with you. So you need to know your worth. Another problem that comes with this is we've been brought up in this society where everybody on earth works time for money. All these normal jobs and stuff, everyone works time for money. So if you're going into a job and you're charging £1,000, but the job's only going to take you, 5, 6, 7 hours a month, well, your hourly rate technically is like well over 100 an hour. So like, when you're going into that, I understand why you're feeling nervous and not confident about your price, because the way societies have trained us to believe that, when you go and get a job, you only should be on 10, 15, 20 an hour. But that's not the way it is. When you're in business, it's different, because it's all about the value you bring to someone. So you need to know your worth. The first key point there is know what you're worth. 100% have faith and believe in your products. and believe in the service that you offer, and do not be afraid when it comes to pricing. That's the biggest thing that stopped me landing higher paying clients when I first got started. Now that I know that, my success rate has just gone up massively. The rate that I land clients at, the price that I land them at has gone up massively, just because I'm not nervous when it comes to saying the price. You need to own it, right? And by owning it as well, and you go into it and you say like, look, you know, it's only $1,000 a month. You're saying like only in front of it. It makes the number seem smaller. You're owning it, and on their end, they'll probably be taken back and like, oh, okay, only 1,000, and it makes them to start reevaluate. Whereas if you go in saying like timidly saying, oh, you know, it's going to be like, I know it's expensive, 1,000 a month. Well, you're just agreeing with what they're saying. You're just mirroring what they're feeling. And of course they're going to shoot you down on price because you don't believe in it yourself, so why should they? So to sort of come full circle now and wrap up that first key point there as well, to end off the video, know your worth. And again, like I just keep saying, this only comes from experience. You know, the more meetings you have, practice with someone if you want to, own your price, know your worth, because it just makes everything so much easier. Now finally, the final key point here today is authority. And that sort of stems from all that stuff we've just spoken about, but you need to be confident. If you're going to land high ticket clients, high paying clients, even if when it comes to personal brand, you need to be confident. You need to own what you're speaking about. Like if I was here now speaking to you guys, and I didn't truly believe in what I was telling you, or I didn't think I was in the position to be able to tell you this, and I was all nervous and like, you know, you guys aren't gonna watch me, right? You guys aren't gonna watch me, just like you wouldn't watch Tai Lopez, just like you wouldn't watch Gary Vee, or any of these other people online. Even just like daily vloggers like Casey Neistat, you know, he's got so much confidence. He's not afraid to whack out his camera in the middle of public. He owns what he's doing. He believes in what he's doing, which is why he's really successful. Would you watch a vlogger who, when he's in the street, he's like making sure no one's seeing him and sort of hiding the camera? Like you're not going to find as much entertainment watching him as you are the other person, right? So you need to be confident in whatever you do. And when you're becoming a figure of authority, what I mean is like, you're becoming this person that people look at and think, right, this guy's confident. This guy knows what he's talking about. Because once you become that person, people start to believe in you and people start to want to work with you. As opposed to you going to them and begging them for work, right? It's the biggest key mindset change here. They want to work with you. You like, think of someone, right, here we go. Look at someone like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, massively charismatic, big dude, always confident. If I said to you now, would you want to go and spend time with The Rock, or you had to pick one actor, like budget wasn't budget at all was no issue, I would choose The Rock. To be honest, I don't know acting skills. He definitely is a good actor, but a lot of the time he's just such a nice, this figure of authority that people are naturally drawn to. You need to become that person. Now, I'm not sitting there and say like, you know, bloody brown-nosed people and, you know, sort of, you know, just do everything at their need. You just want to become confident in yourself, confident in your prices, confident in the services you offer, be knowledgeable, become that figure of authority, because when you do that and you switch that mindset of like, look, I'm going to this business to land them as a client, as opposed to, look, I'm coming to this business to open up a partnership to see if we're a good fit and essentially get them to want to work with you. Once you do that, you will become so much more successful. And that all does come from confidence. Like, if you don't have the confidence, you're not gonna, you will still be able to do it, because I had no confidence when I got started, but you just need to take that first step at the end of the day. Because for me, like, I'm sitting here and saying, okay, these are the things that you can do, but they're not things that you can just read in a book and all of a sudden understand. It's not like algebra where you can sit, read a book on algebra, then all of a sudden at the end of the book you sort of understand it. Well, yeah, it's all well me telling you this and you understanding that you need to do it, but it's a difference from actually going out and doing it yourself. And you're only going to be able to do that from trial and error. So I know a lot of you right now massively lack confidence. I did too. You know, in some stages of my life I still do massively lack confidence, right? But business wise now, I've overcome all of that, and you've got to, because you've got to think, like I said in the beginning, like, you know, what's the worst that can happen? What's the worst thing that can happen? Pick up that phone and go from there. Make that call, upload that YouTube video. Don't care what anyone else thinks, because in a few weeks, in a few months, in a lot of the cases, literally in a few seconds, people are gonna forget what anyone else. And at the end of the day, you're not doing this for anyone else. You're doing this for yourself. Right? Who cares what anyone else thinks? Stop caring what anyone else thinks. I'm just doing me, right? And that's what you need to become. You need to be confident in yourself, and you're only going to get that from taking that first step, uploading that first YouTube video, making that first cold call, you know, reaching out to that first business owner, like going door to door. Like, even if you don't even intend to go and get clients, do it. Like, do it, upload that first. And another thing I hope you know to end off this video, start uploading YouTube videos, start filming yourself, speaking to the camera, putting energy into it, being confident behind a camera is also massively helped me, all right, massively helped me. So that's another thing. If you don't have a business yet, that's fine. Like, start doing some vlogs, filming it, uploading it, and put it on public. Don't put it on private, put it on public. Don't care if anyone else finds it. Put the video out there to the world. Start having confidence in yourself. Right, anyway guys, this video's gone on way too long. I hope you found some value in it. You know, I went through my story and all of those tips, but you know, it all comes down to that first step yourself, and I hope you understand that now. Thank you all so much for watching. If you are new here, like I said in the beginning, make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications, because I'm coming out with very, very consistent content for you, 100% free. I hope that helped, guys, and I will see you all in the next one.